IONIQ information.
Hello, in this video we're going to test out the lane keeping assist system of the Hyundai IONIQ Electric. Now there are various videos online about it already, so what we're going to try and do here is test it on different kinds of roads and test it during the daytime and the nighttime to see the kind of things that it does, the kind of roads that it can cope with and the kind of roads that it doesn't work on. Now the system can be switched on by a button that's to the right of the steering wheel in the UK right-hand drive version, and when the system is on but not active you get a white icon that looks like this in the dash, and when it's on and active that light turns green. The first thing to know about the system is it won't activate at all, even though it's switched on, if the car is doing under 37 miles an hour. 37 miles an hour is the trigger speed for it to come on. And then the camera that's located in the middle top of the windscreen of the IONIQ will start looking to see if it can see the two white lines to the left and to the right of the car, and then it'll sort of attempt to center you in the middle of those lanes. I have noticed though once it's on, it doesn't deactivate until you fall below 34 miles an hour, so that's an interesting feature to the system. There are three different settings for it here, as you can see in the dash. There's basically just a lane departure warning where it will beep if the car sees you go over a white line using the camera, and then there's a standard, which is it just basically tries to keep you in if you veer towards one of the lanes. It tries to keep you centered, and then active, where it's more sort of dynamic and it's moving the steering wheel little amounts all the time to try and keep you centered in the lane. So this isn't an autopilot or an auto steer system like you'd find in a Tesla or in the new Nissan Leaf 40 kilowatt hour models, where they have a kind of ProPilot, more active system. This is more a safety assist. I find it just, nice to have it going. You can feel it working underneath your hands a bit sometimes when you're driving around, and it's just sort of, it's a backup. It's not to sort of replace your concentration or replace your road awareness. It's just a backup that if something distracts you for a moment, it's going to keep you fairly centered in the lane. Okay, so we'll start on some rural roads that have a high enough speed limit to go above the 37 mile an hour threshold for the lane keeping assist system to work, so 40 mile an hour speed limits are ideal. So what we're looking for here is when this icon, as I've said, the LKAS icon turns green. To save your eyes, I'll put it on the screen so we can actually see when the system is working and when it's not working. And we'll start off now on these roads, and we'll speed up to the 37 mile an hour threshold for the system, and then we'll just let the music take it away and see how the system works. Okay, so we've seen the system working there. It's fairly useful at high speeds, on highways, motorways, and it works in the daytime and it works in the nighttime. It's not so useful on roads that are twisty, and obviously you can't use it in urban settings because of the speed limitation. So I find mainly that it manages to sort of see things in all sorts of different conditions. If the sun's coming towards the camera, rain, shine, different fog, different kind of conditions, it's fairly good. It must be looking fairly close to the car, I think, for the lanes. That might be why it kind of loses them kind of quite last minute as you go into corners and so on. I find that if the lanes sort of go beyond, if they're sort of like this, it's fine. If they go beyond a certain level of curvature, it just deactivates. And of course, if you were relying on it, which you shouldn't be, but if you were relying on it, you would go off the road quite quickly. There's very little notice in terms of when it actually deactivates. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, I've noticed in Bjorn Nyland's videos about the KONA Electric that there's an additional layer on top of the lane keeping assist system. So there was some discussion I've heard from dealers and so on that they were going to be improving the system. What they seem to have added now is not just the lane keeping assist system, the LKAS, but there's a lane following assist system. So I wonder if that will actually kind of smooth out, so when the curves go past a certain point, it'll still manage to somehow find them. So the lane keeping assist system is still doing like a centering function, but then the lane following assist will sort of help you when the roads go a little bit off, and maybe smooth out some of those bits where the system is sort of pinging on and off, is activating, deactivating, activating, deactivating, where perhaps you don't want it to make the whole thing again a bit safer. But hopefully with this lane following assist added on top of the lane keeping assist system, it'll be fairly robust actually, and a good sort of safety backup. So I look forward at some point to testing out the KONA Electric and seeing how different it is to the IONIQ's lane keeping assist system. So I will make a video then about the smart cruise control system. We saw it working a little bit here in this video, but I'll be able to test that in lots of different settings because that's active from about 20 miles an hour, I think. So I can test it in stop-go traffic, heavy motorway traffic, and different settings to see what it can do there. So hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and bye now.